Good evening and welcome to sports. I'm Josh Hoerner. I'm at the Convocation Center for a midweek MAC volleyball matchup between the Ohio Bobcats and the Kent State Golden Flashes, the only midweek match Ohio will host this year. After a busy weekend for the Bobcats, they will look to add another victory to their record. The Valley Indians are coming off their first win of the season against rival Northwest. And with Portsmouth West getting their second conference win of the season last week, these two teams are looking to keep momentum on their side. Yes, and both teams had some eye-popping stat sheets after last game. App State, 21 shots, 16 of them on goal in their 7-2 win versus Davidson. And for Ohio, 5 different goal scorers in the 5-1 win versus St. Louis, their most goals in any game this season. Good evening and welcome to sports. I'm Josh Hoerner. Ohio hockey's headed to the ACHA National Championships starting on March 13th. Head coach Barry Schutte joins me in studio to preview it. Thank you for joining us, Coach Schutte.
Thanks for having me.
So you guys just wrapped up your first regular season, here at Ohio. How would you say the regular season went for you and the team? Good evening and welcome to sports. I'm Joshua Hoerner. Ohio softball is coming off of a doubleheader sweep against Kent State on Tuesday and hits the road to take on Akron tomorrow. The Bobcats were the preseason conference favorites and have gotten off to a strong start to their regular season thus far. You just saw Carter Runyon make a trip to the end zone, not once, not twice, but 3 times tonight. And although he did that, he still gives major credit to his big fellas up front for giving him those opportunities. Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm Josh Hoerner. Athens and Alexander are getting ready for a big clash in the TVC Ohio, but more than that, one of the conference biggest rivalries.
But Lancers have been on the hunt to complete the 5-peat for the TVC Hawking title. Step 1 to completing that mission, taking care of Belpre. Junior Bass established his presence early, while strong team effort from the Lancers led to a slim 1-point lead. Andrew Earhart and Tara Contrell combined for 17 points in the second, paving the way for the Lancers. However, none were bigger than this. The third quarter propelled the Golden Eagles within striking distance. Belpre scored 14 points in the quarter, and this buzzer beater brought them within 6. Federal Hawking held a 7-point lead when Blake Church nailed a long ball, bringing Belpre within 4. Belpre couldn't get any closer than this, and Cottrell's clutch free throws put this game on ice, leading the Lancers to a 71-66 victory. Portsmouth West keeps their foot on the gas, extending their winning streak to 5 after dropping the first 2 games.
Yeah, and it seems like the Senators are only getting better as the season goes on. And Portsmouth West has flipped the script after 2 losses to begin the year. So what changes did the Senators implement?
When I talked to head coach Todd Gillian this week, he told me after week 2 they went back to the basics on both sides of the ball. Stripped down the offense and defense they would be starting with at the beginning of summer practice and focus on all the small things that make a team successful.
And on the flip side, Valley's offense lit up the scoreboard last week. Were they able to get those explosive plays again this week?
They put up 21 points and cashed in on both their trips to the red zone. The massive 82-yard touchdown got the offense moving, but unfortunately, they were shut out in the second half.
Yeah, Josh, and Mason Parker and Anthony Bishop have been dynamic in that backfield. How is their impact felt?
Parker being the physical downhill runner and Bishop having the finesse to move in space make these two backs the perfect complement to each other. Both guys being crucial for the offense.
Yeah, and so how does the setup for the rest of the conference play affect the Senators?
The Senators head into matchups against Northwest and Oak Hill on a 5-game winning streak. The matchup that could decide the conference, Week 10 against Wheelersburg.
And joining me to talk some SOC football is reporter Josh Hoerner. Josh, who do we got lined up for this week?
Donovan, if there's anyone that knows this conference, it's us two. And this week, we got Valley versus Northwest. So let's start with the Mohawks and shine some light on their rushing attack.
Let's do it.
Ohio wasn't able to register a lot of pressure on Miami quarterback Brett Gabbert. They didn't get a sack in this game. Ohio defensive ends Bradley Weaver and Marcel Burgess-Walker are going to have to play a bigger impact in this contest. Ohio also fell down early. They were down 16-0 at half. They didn't gain a first down until the second quarter and didn't score until the second half. Ohio is going to need a big spark in their first half. And also for Miami, they did a great job stopping QB Parker Navarro, and they're going to need to expand on that. Navarro only had 3.5 yards per carry, threw 2 picks, and was held under 100 yards in the air. Miami also averaged 5 yards per carry in this contest. Look for them to build on that strong rushing attack. Ohio football is officially under a month away from the spring game as the team is coming off both a MAC championship and a victory in the Cure Bowl. New first-year head coach Brian Smith talked about his first months in his new role and what he's learned about his squad so far. This is definitely going to be a fun rivalry on Friday night, and I know the Mohawks want to spoil the Indians' homecoming.
Yeah, they definitely do. This one is not going to disappoint.
Alexander was looking to pick up their 7th win of the season against the Eagles. But in the first, it was all Eastern. Sam Balch would get the handoff and drain a triple 18-12 Eagles after the opening quarter. But the Spartans flipped momentum in their favor. Great ball movement led to this Jace Cooper 3 from the corner. And this time, it's Mason Morris. Step back triple. Spartans would go on a 16-0 run, giving them a 31-24 lead at the half. The Eagles would get the lead back in the third. Balch to Barnes, another long ball, 43-39 Eagles. Alexander kept it close in the fourth. Alex Bateman, the banks are open, but it's too little, too late, as Eastern goes on to win, 59-54. Good evening and welcome to sports. I'm Josh Hoerner. The NCAA Wrestling National Championships began this morning as 2 Bobcat wrestlers, Jordan Greer and Garrett Thompson, each hit the mat today. Yeah, Sam, and if you look at Ohio's starting lineup there, got a star-studded lineup. Natalie LaFleur, Noah Desmarais going to play up front, going with 4 midfielders and Sasha DeKotla coming up and playing forward. And in the back, Anouk Plan, Mila Kopp, and Emily Betziel, and the Stonewall, Macy Lotz in net. Tournament season is off and running across the state of Ohio as the first round nears a close. Good evening and welcome to sports. I'm Josh Hoerner. 4 schools were in action across the TVC last night as each team was playing to keep their season alive. Ohio's next opponent is a team we are all familiar with, the Miami Redhawks. This year's edition will be the 100th matchup of the Battle of the Bricks. Head coach Tim Albin highlighted the importance of this matchup, taking on the defending MAC champions.
I got my main man Josh Hoerner here with me today, and I promise y'all this guy knows all things SOC.
Yeah, Donovan, I think they could call both of us SOC experts. This week in the conference, the title is on the line, and it's 2 familiar opponents, the Portsmouth West Senators and the Wheelersburg Pirates.
Yet another SOC showdown is reporter Josh Hoerner. Josh, what's the word this week, my man?
Last week, the folks at home got a peek at the Valley Indians in the digital rundown. However, hopefully Mother Nature lets the fans get a full breakdown of Valley and Portsmouth West this week.
The name Cottrell runs throughout Federal Hawking basketball. Amos is the head coach of the Lady Lancers and played for Federal Hawking during the late 90s and early 2000s. His wife Beth was also a standout with the Lancers during the same time period. Now, their children carry on that legacy. Their son Tarek is now the Lancers' all-time boys leading scorer, and his sister Brenly led the girls to a district championship appearance in just her freshman season. One thing is clear, this family can ball.
It's really exciting just to, to be homegrown and to know that, they've stuck it out and had opportunities to go other places, but, they always wanted to play here where Beth and I played, and it's just really exciting to watch both of them now at the high school level.
Although Amos is now the girls' coach, he also coached Tarek before he got to the high school level. Let's just say it's a little hectic to have Dad playing both roles.
It was all right. Definitely now I'm glad that he's not my coach because it's a lot of arguing and just competitive. Like, hard seeing him being my dad and my coach at the same time. My sister does a way better job than me.
It's just something we have in common. We can always talk about it and then go to talk about something else. It's just nice having that connection because he's always there.
It's really amazing just to see the growth and just to see how they play on the floor. They have such a calm presence about them, which I contribute most of that to my wife. That's her and them.
This being Brenly's first year and Tarek's last year, one of their favorite moments as a group was Tarek's senior night.
It was great. I picked those people to walk with me for a reason because they've always been here for me. And it's great. It's definitely sad, but it's part of life. So. Well,
I probably almost cried, but I didn't because I was looking at the floor. But just I don't know. I've been here his whole life.
The Cottrell name carries a lot of weight, and leaving a legacy is something that Amos preaches as both a dad and a coach.
And that's something we've talked about, and I remember the interview talking about, coming in the doors and looking up at the banners and just how important that is to leave a legacy, and it's something that, they're always going to remember.
Reporting for Hardwood Heroes, I'm Josh Hoerner.
Yeah, guys, the Battle of the Bricks is a storied rivalry, and this is one of the biggest additions we may ever see.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that there was a little bit of a sour taste for OU in their mouths, obviously, after losing by 10 in the first edition. So it should be really exciting.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of families will be excited to watch the game this weekend.
Ohio is coming off of one of their biggest wins of the season against the conference-leading Akron Zips. The Bobcats have won 3 of their last 5, also picking up wins against Bowling Green and Central Michigan. Their last loss came against Kent State on February 14th, a game Ohio had a chance to win at the last second. The Bobcats will play 4 more conference games before the MAC tournament, including this Saturday against rival Miami. Head coach Jeff Bowles wants to see his team finish out strong in their last 4 games of the season. Things are heating up in the SOC. Crucial matchups in the following weeks could help shape the outlook of this conference.
Yeah, that's for sure. We'll keep an eye on how things shape up.
In 2022, it was the Senators. 23, it was the Pirates. Who's it going to be this year?
Hey, I don't know, but I'll have an answer for you on Friday night.